What's up guys, Chris here from anabolicmen.com. You're watching our YouTube channel where we give you the best men's health advice online. So today we're going to be talking about 7 foods/foodstuffs that can significantly lower your testosterone levels. So you're going to either want to limit the consumption of these or eliminate them altogether. Now the first one that we're going to talk about is flax seeds. Now, flax seeds have recently become extremely popular in the mass media and general culture. People are consuming a lot of flax seeds specifically because they are high in omega-3 fatty acids. However, as a man, you may want to reconsider your consumption of flax seeds, and I'm going to talk about a couple studies that will illustrate why. Now, first off, they are extremely high in what's known as lignans. Now, lignans are estrogenic, and they also work against the conversion of testosterone to DHT, which a lot of guys find very important. There are studies that basically point toward the conclusion that the lignans in the flaxseed products and androgens are not really a match made in heaven. So this study right here basically took a 30 gram a day dose given to 40 male subjects for 1 month, so just 30 days. The decrease in total testosterone wasn't nearly as significant as in a couple other studies, so there was only about a 10% decrease in total testosterone. However, there was a study done with 25 male subjects given 30 grams a day of flax seeds. And in that study, the average total testosterone dropped in a month. Their total testosterone dropped 15%, and their free testosterone went down by 20%, which was also seen in a previous study, similar accounts. The lignans in the flax seeds they act to increase SHBG levels, which is sex hormone binding globulin, which binds to testosterone. So that will decrease your free testosterone count significantly. Which, as can be seen on these studies right here on the screen. I would highly recommend as a man, against consuming a decent amount of flax seeds. I wouldn't consume them at all if you don't have to. They don't taste great, so I don't really know why people would care about that. Now, the second food that you should be avoiding as a man is licorice. Now, licorice is, especially in some European countries, extremely popular. Especially Ali lives in Finland. Last time he visited me in Los Angeles, he brought me this liquor called salmiakki, which I guess is super popular in Finland. And it was it was a good gift, but it was also kind of a joke because it tastes terrible. And licorice contains something that's known as glyceric acid, which is kind of a crazy word. Basically, it gives it that strange taste, or some people love the taste, they think it's great, but it gives it that very distinct taste. However, it's shown that this acid, the glyceric acid, will reduce testosterone levels. It was first seen in this test tube study, where the researchers found out that even a very modest dose of glyceric acid, which is the hydrogenated version of glyceric acid, was able to significantly block testosterone production in Leydig cells by inhibiting the 17-beta-HSD enzyme, which is needed as a catalyst in testosterone production. So 11 years later, they tested this in human subjects, and in this study, there were 7 human male subjects that were given 7 grams a day of licorice through a commercially available candy tablet. So there's something you could go buy in a candy shop. And 4 days into the study, the subjects' total testosterone levels had dropped a whopping, the average was 740 nanograms per deciliter, down to 484 nanograms per deciliter in 4 days. So long story short, if you want to preserve your total testosterone levels, I highly recommend not regularly consuming licorice because of the glyceric acid in the licorice, or salmiakki for that reason. I don't know why you'd want to consume that anyway. Now, the third thing you want to avoid is high polyunsaturated fat content in certain vegetable oils, which most vegetable oils have high PUFAs. I just call them PUFAs. That's a good word. There was this study done in 1997 here on the screen that demonstrates in human male subjects how increased total fat intake boosts total testosterone levels, increased intake of saturated fatty acids boosts testosterone levels, increased intake of monounsaturated fatty acids boosts testosterone levels, and increased intake of PUFAs, polyunsaturated fats, actually reduces testosterone levels. So in this study, they did a great job of demonstrating really the important types of fatty acids you should be focusing on and the ones you should be avoiding. Now, high polyunsaturated fat content vegetable oil is one that you should be avoiding, and not only for that reason, but it's also very high in omega-6 fatty acids, and you really want to work toward a 1-to-1 omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acid ratio. And based on the fact that most people don't get that many omega-3s in their diet in the first place, but get a lot of omega-6s in their diet, I would advise the general man to avoid anything that has a high amount of omega-6 fatty acids in it. So the next one, which most people actually don't know about, is mint in any variety. Now, mint is an herb. It comes from the mentha family of herbs, and that can include spearmint, peppermint, other types of mints. People drink mint tea before bed, and part of the issue is that and you can find it a lot in mouthwashes and oral hygiene stuff like toothpaste. In this study right here, conducted about 11 years ago, there were 48 rats. It was a rat study divided into 4 groups. Now, one group received commercial drinking water, and that was the control group. Group 2 received 20 grams per liter of peppermint tea. Group 3 received 20 grams per liter of spearmint tea, and then Group 4 received 40 grams per liter of spearmint tea. So when compared to the control group, the peppermint tea at 20 grams reduced total testosterone by 23%, whereas the spearmint tea reduced at 20 grams reduced total testosterone by a whopping 51%. So spearmint appears to be far worse than peppermint, but peppermint still is bad for total testosterone. And if you translate this into human dosages using that 20 grams per liter ratio, that's basically the equivalent of steeping a cup of tea with about 5 grams of tea leaves. And now there are a lot of people, especially in British influenced countries, who drink a lot of tea. So if this is you, if you end up drinking a lot of mint tea and you find that you have problems with your testosterone, if you have problems with your erectile dysfunction issues, I would definitely reevaluate your choice on drinking tea. And I mean, coffee is good in good dosages because it increases cyclic AMP levels, which increase testosterone. Now, this study from 2008, right here on the screen, showed that spearmint suppressed testosterone production and acted as an anti-androgen in male rats. They theorized that spearmint works basically by inducing oxidative stress in the hypothalamus, which results in the downregulation of testosterone in the testicles. So you do not want to mess with spearmint, that's for sure. It's not necessarily great for men. Now, the fifth thing that you should avoid or reduce, I personally do not avoid this and partake regularly, however I don't heavily drink, is alcohol. So alcohol, there are studies showing that for the typical male, typical sized guy, somewhere around the range of about 160 pounds to 200 pounds, whatever, in the first 3 or 4 drinks you're going to be increasing your testosterone levels. However, after that, you'll see a rapid decrease in testosterone levels. So the effect that alcohol has on the body is dose dependent, and that depends also on the size of the person consuming it, or rodent in some of these studies. Now, heavy alcohol consumption, and there's a lot of studies here, we'll throw some of them up on the screen. Heavy alcohol consumption is strongly correlated with lowered testosterone levels. Alcoholics tend to have super high estrogen levels and very low testosterone levels, and that's why you see also massive beer guts and just terrible skin, everything that happens, terrible sleep with alcoholics. There was a really cool, it was actually a Finnish study, so Ali would be proud of this. The Finnish people like to drink, definitely. This was interesting, where the subjects in this study basically had the equivalent of about a half a glass of vodka taken immediately after resistance training, and that increased testosterone levels by 100% after the resistance training. So it's important to note that there are positive and negative benefits to drinking alcohol. There are a lot of other, outside of even testosterone, there are benefits to drinking alcohol, and there are drawbacks to drinking alcohol. So it comes down to being a personal decision, and then it also is heavily dose dependent. And you can do certain things like train before you go out for a couple drinks, before you go out for a happy hour or whatever. If you do the training beforehand, and then if you consume things like straight liquors, I personally recommend tequila as an upper compared to the depressants and the depressant effect of other alcohols. But if you train beforehand, you could see an increase in testosterone. Usually also you'll get people get a bit of energy when they drink, and that the first 3 drinks will typically see an increase in testosterone levels. But also you got to be careful, because after that, if you have had 3 or 4 drinks, it can be easier to slide into a binge. So the 6th thing that you should definitely avoid is soy products. Now, soy products they're controversial, but they're also everywhere, and they contain a high amount of phytoestrogens, known as isoflavones, flavones. So there's genistein, diadsin, and glycine, which are in soybeans. And soybeans have become a cash crop. They've become heavily manufactured through commercial farms and heavily genetically modified, but also just basically full of pesticides and chemicals, and it's laced to a lot of processed foods. So I would definitely avoid consuming soy, because it's considered also to be goitrogenic, which means that it can disrupt the production of thyroid hormones. So in general, avoiding soy is definitely a good idea. Now, the last thing that I recommend you avoid is trans fats. Now, trans fats are basically a byproduct of what's known as hydrogenation. Now, basically with hydrogenation, they take a cheap vegetable oil, and they pass hydrogen atoms through it to harden it, and then in a high pressure environment with the presence of nickel as a catalyst. So basically the end result is unsaturated fat molecules that become fully saturated. So I really don't think, there's literally no type of, a trans fat is not, or hydrogenated fat is not a natural fat, so there is no impetus for your body to be able to handle it properly. So let's look at a couple studies. I like to always look at the studies. First, with this study, trans fats they were found to promote systemic inflammation in the body. And there was this big review, this next one, that was published that concluded that each 2% increase in calories from trans fat was associated with a 23% increase in cardiovascular disease risk. Now, the next one is that, again, what we've talked about before, polyunsaturated fats are bad for testosterone levels. Trans fats are very high in polyunsaturated fat levels. They also lower HDL cholesterol, which is good, and it's a crucial building block in testosterone synthesis. So there you have it. Those are the 7 things that you should be avoiding. We'll recap them again real quick. We have flaxseed, licorice, high polyunsaturated fat oils, mints, especially spearmint and peppermint, alcohol, limit your alcohol intake or be smart with it, soy, and trans fats. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to our channel. Go visit us over on anabolicmen.com, where we have a ton of free information for you all about men's health and how you can improve your health with natural means without pharmaceuticals. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.